Hello, and welcome to Whatever Etc. number 21 for the 18th of December 2012. I want to thank everybody who is a friend and a colleague and an acquaintance, all of you who've watched Whatever Etc. And who sent me your kind condolences towards the end of August, which was when I had done my last podcast. Not too long after my last podcast, my brother passed away. And I've spent the last few months sort of reinvigorating my thought and recentering myself. So I thought it was really important to step away from the podcast for a little bit while I practice what I preached and utilize mindful contemplation to help me attend to what was going on in the world with me and my family and focus on my situation and the loss of my brother and open myself up to new opportunities. And so quite a few new opportunities have opened up. Those new opportunities actually led me to being a little longer in getting back to the podcast than I expected, but I think it's all going to be very profitable in the long run. So let's go ahead and jump back in to this notion of struggle, this limit situation, this boundary situation, this genuine constituting condition of being human, which is struggle. I had outlined over the course of a couple of podcasts how our society had reached a point where all struggle was seen as a form of war. And I'd really wanted to highlight how much struggle is not just war. I'd really want us to capture this notion that while all war is struggle, not all struggle is war. And this letting go of violence. Now, a week after or a few days after the Newtown school shooting and after a number of extremely violent things that have happened over the course of the last few months, I really don't believe that we can highlight enough, especially after the acrimonious election cycle that we went just through, we can highlight enough how much we need to let go of this notion of violent struggle, that all struggle should be violent struggle, and that it's about winning, and that it's about conquering, and that it's about consuming the other person and putting them into your thrall. The idea that I want to talk with you about today then is the kind of struggle that really qualifies as philosophizing. And that is, Carl Jaspers defines philosophy actually as the loving contest, the loving struggle. And that's what I want to talk about today. In loving struggle, in that struggle where we are contesting with each other to be fully as open to each other in our communicative possibility as we can be. This entails that we give up all of the trappings that allow for any sort of violent or forceful privilege. We give up forceful language. We weaken and, as Johnny Vadimo might say, we debilitate our metaphysical thinking. So we debilitate ourselves so that we are not speaking from a point of force. So we are not speaking from even a position of intellectual superiority. We horizontalize and we make ourselves be on the same ground level as the person with whom we are speaking. We don't even want to engage in trying to lead the conversation. A true Socratic heuristic is not one that has in mind, through the manipulation of language, through the making of intellectual suggestion, a way of leading the other person where you want to go. We open ourselves up to each other and we see the possibility that occurs in this attempt to struggle in love together to understand and comprehend our human situation. This means that we have to really unteach ourselves, unlearn, hack our minds and our souls, so that we get rid of all of these presuppositions and assumed positions that make us come at the other person as though we need to win, or in one sense also that make us roll over and submit ourselves to the other person. This has been the problem of a lot of our public discourse, disclosure and discourse in the last few years, is that people cannot speak from a perspective of an equal playing field. They cannot speak from the perspective of standing on the same ground, eye to eye, and struggling in love to disclose what might help ourselves and all of humanity. Rather, we get caught in some sort of fight over who can be the winner, over who can be the best, over who can be the richest, over who can be the most powerful, over demonstrating, our most base animal instincts. But doing it through what should be one of our most highly civilized abilities, which is speech, which is communication. So in kind of opening things back up and getting us back on a certain kind of track, I'm gonna cut it off today and then pick back up again tomorrow here. But what I really just want to highlight is this need that we need to all open ourselves up and be willing to horizontalize ourselves, be willing to encourage horizontalization. And what I mean by that is that we all stand on the same horizontal ground. We all stand looking at the same eye level, and we all stand shoulder to shoulder in solidarity of looking for the questions, looking for the kinds of places that will allow us to learn more about what it means to be human. So, though I haven't really said a whole lot today, I can't go any farther at this point. But I just really, really want to say thank you to everybody who has listened to all of the podcasts so far and been so supportive. And I hope that we can begin to engage in this loving struggle together, and that you'll pass along these podcasts to other people, and that I'll see some comments from you in Facebook, and some engagement on the blog and through YouTube. Please feel free to send your questions or comments, and I'll see you on the morrow, and thank you very much. Tranquilitas ad bonum. Tranquility and goodness be with you now and forever. Goodbye.